Hello, welcome back to the HCCTV Student Lounge. This is a show done by HCC students for HCC students to give your opinions in news, entertainment, and what's going on in our school. Hi Carolina, how are you today?
Hey Kyle, it's so good to see you again. We're also joined today by Josh, Eric, Chaz, and Andres. We will also be joined by three special guests: Karl Mays from Student Life, Demetrius Hopson from Recreational Sports, and Leonard Minor also from Recreational Sports. But first, let's move into our top three news or events of the week. Fortnite is here. Register today for the online Fortnite tournament this semester. This tournament is so open to all currently enrolled students. Now, the Fortnite Battle Royale is an online gaming tournament and will start on April 14th. All participants must be current students and any online subscription if needed. Participants will need to create a Discord and Battlefy account for the tournament, and the deadline to register is April 12th. So we'll provide the link over here, and there will be prizes for first, second, and third place winners. Now, there's also a Mortal Kombat, and this is hosted by the Recreational Sports Esports, and the tournament is an online gaming tournament also, and it starts on April 23rd. So all participants, like I mentioned before, they have to be current HCC students, and also first and second and third places, for their prizes for winners. And we'll have the link over here. And also, don't forget to follow on social media, Recreational Sports Updates. Over here, I'll link it. It's at HCCS Rec Sports. We'll have it over here. And if you like to walk, you can complete a walk-a-thon contest on April 9th through April 15th. And I would love to get this because the prize is a very cool thing. Faculty and staff are encouraged to participate, but will not be eligible to receive the grand prize. So too sad for you, Kyle. For more information, contact Louis Earl at louis.earl@hccs.edu. And we'll provide the link so you can register. And the prize is a Fitbit, so you should participate. Now let's begin our first topic, which makes way to a great discussion. What do you do for fun at school, or what extracurricular activities are out there? So let's hear from our crew.
So Carolina, I would like to say something, and that's actually a recommendation. I know that we have our guests already watching us. So one thing that I miss from high school is field trips. So, whenever my school used to do that, we used to go to a hotel over the weekend. It used to be really cool places where they have like those cabins, and everybody used to do like sleepover, of course, guys in one and girls in another one. But it was so much fun because we get to know people better. We used to play sports and just go around telling like scary stories. And that was so good because it was a moment for the students to be outside of the regular environment, which is like school. So I really miss those, and I wish like college people could go back to do that. I even mind like paying for it because I know they ACC does some sort of field trips, but they usually with a specific thing in mind. And we're gonna talk about that with your guests. So I don't want to tell too much about it. So who would like to go next?
Okay, Kyle. So, as an aspiring filmmaker, at HCC, there is an underground film and events club that's a very popular one. A few clubs we have at HCC for filmmakers. You can show off your independent films and all types of writing things that you can do, such as screenwriting or audio. It's very good for filmmakers in the filmmaking program at HCC. Also, it features poetry slams. So if you're into poetry, you can enter that club as well. And also there's something called game days. So if you're into games, whether it's video games or anything else, the Underground Film and Events Club is definitely for you. So I definitely would recommend it for all filmmakers.
Back when I was in college, we had a stand-up comedy scene on campus that built up over time. And you get to know people from all different walks of life as they all had one goal in mind: to make people laugh. There were different comedy troupes that would pop up and hold their own events throughout the school year, and I made some really good friends during my time there as I worked on polishing my stand-up skills. Because of COVID, we haven't been able to work together or in front of crowds, so as the world gets closer to opening fully again, I'm excited to get back on stage to farm some goofs and keck W's.
Today, I want to mention the different activities that I had the opportunity to participate as an international student at HCC. So had different activities. I remember when I was taking ESL classes, our professor, they used to make some parties in the final of each semester. So each students used to bring different food from different countries. And actually we had like different games, and they used to dance, and it was a like very good time. Another activity that I remember is the Chinese Lunar Year, that every day in the central campus they made that celebration, and I used to go there, and it was like really good celebrations. And all the time I remember, like every year, every semester, we had different activities for the international student. Was very good experience for me.
That's fascinating, Andres. I also miss those parties and getting to learn from the culture of different friends. As an international student, I know how that was. Now that we've heard from you guys, let's move into our guest for today. Why don't you introduce us to them, Kyle?
So today we have Demetrius Hopson. He's the program director of recreational sports at HCC District. And we also have Leonard Minor. He's the recreational sports specialist at HCC Northwest College. So let's first start with Demetrius. So how are you today?
I'm well. Thanks for asking. How are you, Kyle?
Doing fantastic too. So first I'd like to start, what is recreational sports?
Recreational sports is an outlet for students to be able to participate in sports and activities. We offer everything from competitive sports to recreational sports, which is intramurals, where you can play with other students. And then we offer fitness classes to the student where you can come and work out. We offer wellness events that we offer students information, different treats to try different type of healthy treats and drinks and things like that. And then we also have an aspect of outdoor recreation as well, where we would go and do some type of event, maybe fishing or canoeing, different things like that as well.
Well, that sounds a lot of fun. So what type of sports do you cover? You already mentioned some of them, but what are all the sports that you actually cover?
All right, so right now we have basketball, men's and women, baseball, volleyball, soccer, men and women, tennis, men and women. We offer cycling and golf.
That's pretty cool. And you guys also cover gaming, right? Who would say that gaming is a sport, and now it's actually something that people even make money with that, right?
Right. It's a very big industry, and we've done it by campus a little bit here and a little bit there, but we wanted to make it a district thing. So being in COVID, it gave us opportunity to be able to offer those virtual gaming to the student base, right? And so same thing with the intramural, extramural sports, gaming as well. We have all those different sports and activities as well. And we have all those different, like the Mortal Kombat, like you guys talked about, and Fortnite and different things like that.
Yeah, those are pretty cool games. So kind of like a personal question. So for example, if there's a game that I really enjoy and I wanted to ask you guys to make a tournament about, is it a process? Do I need to apply? Like, how does it work? Who chooses the games that is going to be on the tournament?
So it starts out with student surveys and see what the student wants. And then it also goes from what students participated in the last year. So this summer we'll be coming together. We'll be looking at the events that we offered. We'll see what was hot and what wasn't, and then we'll bring it for the next semester. But students can always ask for games, and we can try to see if other students want to play, and we can put it together for them as well.
Awesome. You can wait for my application, because I definitely want to recommend some games.
Looking forward to it.
So one last question for you. So what event are you planning for this year? There's anything new sports? Like, what's going on?
So as you know, right now, due to COVID, we had to pause our intramural, extramural, and club sports. So the physical activity sports we paused, but we're offering several different activities in the virtual realm. You guys mentioned a couple of them earlier. And then we're also, along with that, on the 8th of April, we got Rocket League. We're having a wellness trivia for the students. Outside of the Fortnite and the Walkathon, we're doing Rec Talk. We have a cooking demo that we're partnering with Student Life. We have nutritionists come in to talk to you all. We're partnering with Student Life. All these things will be, you'll have access to them on Presence, and we can also give you a link as well. It's several different things that we do. We do all sports, esports tournaments. So the Madden, which is football, the FIFA, which is soccer, NBA, of course, basketball. We do all these things on these virtual platforms on Xbox and PlayStation, and then we also have of course, the run and the walk that we do. Everybody do it on their own. So we got several different opportunities for students to be involved. We would love to have you all.
This is really exciting. Everybody here in the Student Lounge needs to do that. Okay, guys. We are
I see everyone's name. I'm gonna be looking for them.
So I said that was the last question, but actually I want to ask one more thing that's really important. So how can the student find you guys? Do you have like Instagram, Facebook? Is it through the HCC page? What's the best way to get involved and get to know more about the news?
We have several different outlets. We start with Instagram and Facebook, which is HCC Rec Sports, HCCS Rec Sports. So HCCS REC SPORTS, and that's for Instagram and Facebook. Then we also have our website at hccs.edu/rec sports. And there you'll get different opportunities where you can access us on our presence website as well. So you can be able to register for those activities.
Perfect. That's awesome. Well, thank you very much. And now we're going to move in with Leonard Marno. He's the Recreational Sports Specialist at HCC Northwest College. So how are you today, Leonard?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic too. So first I would like to ask you, like, how long have you been working at HCC?
I've been working at HCC for about 3 weeks now.
Wow, so you're pretty new. So I wanted to ask you, like, what events are you actually helping to plan? Because you already said that you know, 4 weeks, it's not enough time, but you're already getting to organize some stuff, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm getting my feet going. Looking for a cooking demo that we are setting the event plans for on April 21st. So we'll bring in a chef to do cook some type of meal through Zoom for the students where they can participate as she cooks it. It'll be some type of healthy alternative meal that they can that'll be easy to cook that they can learn.
Awesome, that's good. I always like to try new recipes, especially when it comes to healthy. But I'm trying to go back to the gym, so that's gonna be a perfect one to go to attend. And one last question for you.
Okay.
So not too long ago, you were a student. Does that help you to make decisions on your new job?
That's a great question. It most definitely does. I was really involved in our recreation department while I was in school, so I can remember some of those things and bring it along with me to the job and know what the students are looking for, what they want to participate in. So it's definitely a help being not that far removed from college myself.
Okay, perfect. I really like your answer. So, well, thank you very much. Now we're gonna move to Karl. He's the Student Life Coordinator at HCC Central, aka Superman. How are you today?
I do remember the unmute, man. I'm good, Kyle, man. You know, congrats to you all, man, on this HCCTV Student Lounge, man. I think it is cool, and I like the lounge part. So those that are watching, we are talking, but we are also lounging.
Yeah, we are so excited to have you here. So tell me a little bit, what is the student life?
Student life is the life of students, right? In every aspect. We want to make sure that, you know, we are the ones that breaks up that study time, gives the student the opportunity to be a part of different organizations, things that actually make them connect. You know, one of the things I always say is allow the student to be able to find their way, meeting people, sometimes like minds. You know, the ultimate thing is the energy you give is the energy you receive, right? And the hardest thing we know, especially when you have students that have traveled far and beyond, that may be international students or students that are from, you know, other parts of the city. You know, you'd be amazed of how many students have not been from just their neighborhood. So to be able to kind of come out and feel like some sense of, you know, detachment, you know, and meeting new people is probably like this hard road that some people just can't seem to cross. Well, student life is the bridge. Let me say that, right? And with the bridge to be able to say, hey, how are you doing? Listen, don't forget over here, just to let you all know we have this, and this. This is what it entails. You already paid in your fees. Please take a look at it. Whatever you do, don't be at a point where you close a blind eye. Some things that they need to know about, and they can decide at that time if this is somewhere they want to, you know, be a part of. So it helps to be able to kind of keep the student attached to the institution.
Yeah, I think that's what we honestly need, especially when it comes to college. I had a different perception because I'm from Brazil. So in Brazil, usually you take one class with everybody, and it's like you have 10 classes with the same people. So you get to know them a little better. Since we're in college, we have different classes, different people. So we don't usually build them any friendship because it's something also so quick. People are so just worried about studying. So I think the student life plays a good role in this, like trying to, again, take people outside of just studying and giving them a break and getting to know each other and participating in activities and creating friendships, and even, again, just trying to be outside of the routine of just being.
Yeah, and you know what else too, Kyle, man? I just to be very honest with you, shout out to all the other student life coordinators and all the rec sports, specialists at all the campuses. And teamwork makes the dream work. We have some very, very creative student life coordinators and rec sports specialists, man. And the biggest thing that we have at our table is to know that we have students of so many different dynamics and demographics, right? Imagine being able to put on different events and having to consider where people are from, what people might be more interested in. I mean, you're taking all these things into consideration while you plan out that particular semester. And even for us, just to be very, very transparent with you all, because y'all the students, I always tell people I am the student that has just kind of moved on a little bit, but I'm still a student, right? So I see out the lens of a student. The biggest thing is being able to push the envelope on who we are to be able to expand our horizon on what some of those, trends, some of those traditional things that a student might do back in their country, back in their hometown, or back in their hood. We want to kind of bring it to the forefront and figure out a way to be able to celebrate it so that it actually allows the student to feel some sense of calm. This is your home. So, one of the things I do when I meet new students, I say, hey, man, welcome home. Right? Because at the end of the day, we're your home away from home. We want you to be able to get what you need to do. Get what you need in order to be able to do the things that you need to do in order to be progressive students. However, creating this particular culture has a lot to do with you. And in order to be able to be a part of that culture, you have to be one who is participative. That's ultimately it, man. Student life is just here to be able to wrap our arms around the student, give them what we need to give them, and let them know that, listen, man, your ideas are welcome as well.
That's a really good answer, so deep. I like what you said. So in this aspect, I know that COVID was something that is still kind of complicated on our life, especially in the student life. So I wanted to know how it has affected and how you guys overcame this big challenge that was the pandemic.
That's a very, very unique question. And I'm going to make sure that I give the holistic approach because I want you to be able to see it. When it first happened, of course, there was a little light panic, because we didn't have anything in place. Who would have ever thought that the whole world would have stopped, right? I mean, like the world just came to a screeching halt and then said, go left, right? So who was prepared for that? I mean, in my lifetime, I didn't think I would see anything like that, right? However, with it happening, with us coming together as a team and as a college and administration, being able to gather our ideas and seeing what we need to do in order to galvanize the student, because not only are we in shock, but they are too. The student cannot be forgotten about. So the one thing that we did is we pivoted and we decided to be able to try to figure out how can we not just check off the box of doing an event for the student, but let us be able to truly see how through this lens and through this camera and inside of this space, how can we transcend something to let them know we're still here with you. We still want you to be participative, and we still want you to, whatever you do in the comfort of your space, somehow take your mind and go outside of your house, right? So this is some of those things we had to kind of take into consideration because, one thing that, all of our students do is, they watch television and they play games. I mean, the biggest thing is how can we utilize this to benefit us and still keep the, the HCC brand and its respect level to a high standard. And we were able to kind of do that. The big thing that we miss right now, though, is that social interaction in person, right? Because, in some form of fashion, I mean, let's be straight. We all need social interaction, right? I mean, we're getting it right now through here, but, I want to see y'all in person. I want to say, hey, man, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Because I think that energy is still something that's needed. Now, we've been successful. It's a weird thing too. We've been successful because most, and I'm gonna call it your generation. Most of your generation is mostly introverted because everything that they are possibly, engaged in real life outside of, the college is something that creates the introvert, right? Everything, they don't need people. They just need their phones. They still socialize, but they do it online and they do it on games and there's no huge in-person thing. So for them to transcend and be a part of our events online, it ended up turning out pretty good. But we know we need to get back to being able to be social in person. And that's the only thing that we messed up on or missed out on. And now I will say that we've gotten a lot of participation online. It's been heavily successful. I was in a table talk last night, and it was very unique, but the table talk talked about, as we all progress back into the world of real life, it said we have adopted a model now in anything that we do, and even you all, where we're going to have everything hybrid. So not only will we be talking like this, but you and I will be in person, but we will be airing it out, and we might have a studio audience at the same time. So it's this weird thing that might be happening that that brings both worlds together now. And it makes me think, okay, so now student life and rec sports, when we do an event on campus, are we going to have it broadcasted at the same time? Who knows? But the hybrid world is here. It's here to stay. It doesn't cost a lot now to broadcast things to many of the people that are not at that environment. Concerts now will probably have, you go to the Jay-Z Beyonce concert, your friend doesn't have enough money, he can go to the online version, pay $90, and he's there as well. He's like, yo, I'm front row at home. That thing might start to happen a lot more. So welcome to the hybrid world. So it's been okay, to answer your question.
Yeah, and actually, were you guys that organized a driving a movie theater night? I'm not sure if it was.
Yeah, so we've been doing the drive-in theaters. They pulled us back a little bit to do it, this particular spring, but we did like 2, maybe 3 of them in the fall, and they were highly successful. Mostly because people wanted to get out the house. Unfortunately, they couldn't get out the car, but but they got out the house in the car and just brought the car, and they were still outside the house. So they enjoyed it. We offered them, snacks and stuff that they got a chance to be able to enjoy while they watched the movie. Shout out to, some of our vendors for being creative to be able to come up with something like that. And shout out to, just the administration at HCC for allowing us to be able to use our campus parking lot. So, that meant a lot to us too, in the respect of understanding what we were up to in the COVID world. So yeah, the drive-in theaters have been, enormous. I mean, man, listen, we have definitely pushed the creative envelope. I can honestly say that. And it feels good to be able to do it. Sometimes you have to be, pushed to the limit of 2 to continue to, grow as a person. I always say complacency is something that people don't plan, they just fall into. So we're not complacent, trust me. We are definitely pushing the envelope continuously.
Yeah, I agree with you. So one quick last question before we move on to the next segment. So what events are you guys planning for this year?
We believe it or not, this spring we have about 43 events that were slated. I mean, a lot of them we've already done. To the listeners and the viewers, I think the biggest thing about HCC, our students and knowing where everything is, even when you ask what's about different sports ideas and how to participate in them and how to find out what sport you want to be in. The biggest thing about HCC is it's so huge and it's so spread that we're still trying to really kind of navigate that channel where all the students can be and they can know about something at that particular moment, and it just goes widespread and all the students just kind of know, right? And they can decide at that moment, not to the point of where they say, I didn't know about that, right? So that this is our biggest feat to be able to overcome as a college, of how to be able to galvanize students in one place. So with that said, this is where I'm going to be able to let everyone know that's watching. HCCS.presence.io. You can find out everything from rec sports to student life. We're all on that, and it's basically a sub-site outside of the hccs.edu site. We're at hccs.presence.io. You want to make sure you stay locked to that site, find out when the events are. Right now, we're so streamlined that we're doing everything together. I mean, as long as you lock and load in there, you'll be just fine. That as far as the social media goes, you heard Rec Sports earlier. Ours, though, for student life is the HCC Student Life, and that's on Instagram and Facebook. The HCC Student Life. And as long as you stay kind of connected in there, you'll know when something is, because we have like a little formula and how we put stuff up, because we know we want to meet the student where they are. And all in all, I mean, we have quite a bit of stuff planned. So coming up real quick, Like you heard Demetrius say earlier, we do have, the cooking special coming up. We have the nutrition special coming up. I mean, these are all things that are virtual. And you'll be able to go, if you go to that site I gave you, you'll see everything there. And the other thing that we have coming up is we have the student awards that are going to happen virtually. That's exciting. So, and how we did it is we went to the faculty, they chose particular students who were doing well based on GPAs, and they submitted names. We are going to take those names and make sure that they receive their trophies, take pictures with them. We're going to collide it together, put together a whole production. That's going to be exciting, right? We're also going to have a DJ, doing that during that whole time. All of that's going to be broadcast. So keep your ears open on that. And then we have grad week coming up. So during grad week, we're going to have the whole drive-through thing set up. We're going to give away quite a bit. Those that are graduating, y'all come kick it with us, right? We're going to have a graduation party online. We'll go DJ Hot Seat. Hopefully, if he's available, go DJ Hot Seat from 97 on the box. We got so much going on. We're connected in the city, man. I mean, come on, tell me. Rec Sports and Student Life, we're trying to make sure we still be the student. But the biggest thing is the student shouldn't be attached from the institution. If you're just now finding out about Student Life and Rec Sports, then welcome home. I'm not going to blame you for being out the loop, but if you want to stay in the know, I call it the HCCN crowd, then you need to make sure you follow us on those social medias, stay connected, stay locked, and trust me, if y'all keep watching HCCTV Student Lounge with Karl and the whole crew, we're going to be good. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, Karl, thank you so much for all this information. This is exciting. As a student myself, I do want to get more involved, and we have so much good stuff planning on. So again, thank you so much for being here today. And we're going to move on to the next.
Thank you for having me.
So Carolina, what's going on now?
Yes, that was fascinating to hear about so many events going on at HCC. And as you know, we also cover things that are entertaining to watch. So I'm going to start with the first show, a movie. It's Monsters Inc. University. And it tells the story of the relationship between Mike Wazowski and Sullivan during the days at Monsters University, when they weren't necessarily the best friends. And as the semester progresses, an intense rivalry forms between them, and because one studies to improve himself, to prove himself, and Sully, who relies only on his natural talent. Now, they both attempt to join a fraternity, but also Sully is accepted into Rho Omega Rho, the most prestigious fraternity on campus. Now, Mike wants to prove himself, and he joins the Scare Games. So it's pretty much related to what we were talking about, student life. So you have to go watch it. It's an amazing movie, and you can go into Disney Plus and you'll see it there. Now, who else wants to share a movie or a show?
Thanks, Carolina. I'm also sharing something that I'm pretty sure you can find on Disney Plus. It's literally from the year 2000, an extremely goofy movie, a goofy movie about Goofy, who goes back to college to finish his degree, but he goes back to the same college that his son just enrolled into. So there's a lot of father-son antics. It's a little bit dated because most of it's about extreme sports, but it's a really wholesome movie about a father and his son and the whole college experience they go through.
Thank you very much, Chaz. So it's the time today to say goodbye, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching, and stick to the end because we have the funny video or the meme of the week. And again, see you next time.
Also, don't forget to send us your opinion. Also, send us topics that you would like to discuss, and we'll see you next time on the Student Lounge.